Hello everybody, jimmyispromo here, back again with another awesome video, and today we're going to talk about Samsung Health as it is a brand new year, and one of the more common resolutions is dealing with anything with weight. So it could be losing weight, maybe getting more healthy, getting more fit, whatever the case. The pre-installed app on your latest Samsung Galaxy devices that's called Samsung Health will definitely help you hit your goals. Now, I just set pretty much everything up yesterday. I kind of got it all set up kind of for me and how I would like to get everything monitored and maintained so I'd be able to hit my goal. Now, before we dive deep inside of Samsung Health, I do want to let you guys know that I am running a contest for the whole year of 2018, and I am giving away 5 different prizes inside of this giveaway. So if you want to know how you'd be able to enter that, make sure you guys go below the video, and there is a link inside the description giving you all the details that you need to know. Now, Samsung Health is pre-installed on your Samsung Galaxy device, and if you don't see it on your home page, all you have to do is go inside of your application tray, click on that Samsung folder, and there is Samsung Health. Now, for some reason, if you don't have it, you are able to find Samsung Health on the Play Store as well as the Galaxy App Store. Now, when you do have this thing, all set up, you do want to make sure that you put in all your details at the very beginning for your profile or my page, and make sure you put in, your gender, if you're male or female, your height, your age, and also your weight. So it puts you in all the correct categories if you're doing any type of competitions, and it lets you know how you're doing versus the average inside of your group. Now, also below there, you do want to put in what is your activity level. So I put mine as a level 3, which is just active, instead of me putting in number 4, which is very active. And then below here, you can see a little bit more details with together. It might even state that you were to start it or get it linked up. So make sure you set that up. So it's an amazing way that you'd be able to go along with your friends with some contests and competitions, as well as going with the entire global scale of doing amazing competitions. Now, when you have everything set up and you have everything kind of going, and you're, watching your calorie intakes and your steps, then after a while underneath my page, you can kind of see how you're doing with your personal bests with several of these things. Now, I have not done too much with this application just yet, as I just got it set up yesterday, but I want to make sure that you guys are getting yours set up as well. And you guys can also hold me accountable if you want to. Now, on the very top, you're going to see 4 different tabs. You have the Me tab, which is a breakdown of what's going on with your weight management, how you're doing with your steps, and then these are all the different categories that you're able to set up, so it's kind of a quick widget to get something recorded or documented. And then underneath the tab of Together, you can see how you do versus the leaderboard of everybody else. You can also check it out for your age group, and then also with your friends if you get that all set up. And then you will also have a tab for experts. Now, we're not talking about this one today in depth at all, but it's a way that you'd be able to visit a doctor online, and even if you have some insurance cards and insurance plans, it will also go with this one, so you don't have to get out of the house, but you can still get expert help. And then underneath Discover is just another way you'd be able to read documents and information and news stories about anything dealing with health. Now, before we go through all of these and go a little bit more deeper, I do want to show you that on the very top right hand side, you're going to have more options. And so inside of here, this is where you can manage your items. So all of those items that you see on this main page will all be able to be done with this manage items on the very top. So up here, you can get all your information for your weight management. So right now I do weigh 197. It's a little bit higher than what I ever have been. And I am going to at least get it down to the 185 for my first goal. And what I am going to do is try to lose 1 pound per week. And so that will mean that it'll take 12 weeks for me to lose those 12 pounds. And right here, what it's letting you know and how you can kind of set things up is I want mine to be all the way down here for a little bit less activity. So that means that my intake of calories, or I guess we could probably put it up here. So if you find yourself being a little bit more active, if you run a lot more, then you can actually bring this up so you can have more calories to give you more endurance and more energy to actually burn all those different calories. So I'm gonna actually put mine probably somewhere around here. Now down here, you are able to turn on if you want it to be a autofill for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, putting in a particular number of calories, but I want mine to be more accurate, so I actually have the autofill turned off. Now when we go back over into manage items, then you'd be able to go down over here and you can see if there's a different program that you would like to join into, so you can check things out on different applications or websites if you want to do particular programs, which I'll show you that here in just a little bit. But this is what's showing on your main page. So let's say that you wanted to have floors climbed on your main page right over here. Now it added in the floors. But there is another way that you can kind of get rid of this and also move it around. So if you want to move this around, let's say that maybe you wanted the exercise bike just to be a little bit higher, because maybe you do that just a little bit more often, that is one way to kind of move it around. Or if you want to get rid of it, I am going to actually get rid of the floors because I don't need to see that. But I do want to maintain and take advantage of the food widget as well as water. So anytime that you drink a 8-ounce water, you'd be able to add a little +1 to that. You can also make sure that you're checking out your caffeine levels, your weight. So for me, I actually have the weight, also the heart rate. And then down here, here's all your different exercise trackers. So if you're gonna go out and about and you're gonna be outside doing cycling, hiking, running, or walking, then you definitely wanna turn one of these on. But if you find yourself being more of one of those people who is doing this at a gym, especially here in the Midwest, it's super cold out, I am gonna probably use the exercise bike. And then you also have the leg extensions, leg presses, the plank, push-ups, sit-ups, swimming, treadmill, as well as weight machines. And if you wanted to view more, then you have so many more that you'd be able to add into that main page. Now, once you have everything turned on and what you would really like to track on the main homepage of these widgets, then this is where you'd be able to kind of move these around and change their orders. So if you find yourself doing a little bit more weight machines than anything else, you'd be able to put it there. And if you want to input information, you can either hit on start, and then this will kind of be your coach. So if you have a duration target, you'd be able to run for a particular amount of time. If there's a particular burned calorie target, you'd be able to do that as well. You're gonna have music that'll be able to play, and it's a little bit more of a coach. But let's say that you didn't have your phone with you at that moment in time, or maybe you just wanted to run and not really kind of have this thing track you, maybe with either the smartwatch or any other wearable. You can just go inside of there and hit on enter data, and then you'd be able to put in the date as well as the time that you have done that activity. Underneath the duration, then this is where you can either hit the plus or minus, or you can say that you ran for 15 minutes, and then you'd be able to say the distance. And so let's say that you did about 1.5 miles in 15 minutes, then you hit on OK. You can add in notes if you wanted to, and you can state, hey, I walked twice, or I did this without walking, put in your notes, and then hit on save. Now, once you do that, it's gonna probably give you information if that was one of your longest things you've ever done, and then you can hit on done. And what I'm also gonna do is I'm gonna go right over here, and you can notice that I am under my calories because I burned more calories just because I did a little bit more running. Now, if you don't really want that to be on there, you'd be able to click right there, click on the very top, you'd be able to hit on delete, and then delete. So that one was just an example showing you how you can add something in manually, and you can do that with any and all of these. So if you're gonna do the elliptical machine, if you're gonna be doing the leg press, so maybe you might not use your phone for this for, connecting with your watch, but you can enter your data and mention that you've done, 10 reps at a vigorous intensity for maybe 30 seconds, or you can just say the 1 minute or however you want to do it. But that's going to also add in all your different calories, so you can make sure that you're tracking everything that you're doing inside the gym. And now let's talk a little bit more about the weight management, since we kind of talked about these widgets on the bottom. Now, when you go over into your weight management, and a lot of this kind of seems like it could be a lot, but once you start using this and you actually start logging and documenting just a few things, you'll notice how this kind of works and actually how easy this is. And it really doesn't take a lot of time. And really, if you are at a gym and you're working out, you do have to have at least 30 seconds to 60 seconds of rest time in between all your different sets. So you do actually have time to input all this information. Now up here, you can see how I'm kind of doing with my calorie goal. So I've done pretty good with all my eating. Now, in order for me to hit my target, what has been placed in here is that my calories burned, I need to burn 3,400 calories a day. For my calories consumed, I am at a goal or a target of 2,900. So that means that you want to have obviously less calories consumed and more burned in order for you to hit your goal. Now, if at any point in time you're looking at your weight management and you forgot to put in some type of a workout, any of those that you have previously put onto your main page as a widget, all of those right here are actually going to be popping up. So when you hit on this little plus button, you can add in something to make sure that you're adding in all the different calories that you have definitely done. Now when you're down over here and you're talking about your calories consumed, this is what I did for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then I did have my evening snack tonight, and I might have just a little bit more food as well too, but I am gonna definitely stay below my goal. Now when you hit on that plus button, now you can see that you can add in something for breakfast, lunch, dinner. You can even have all these different snack times on the very bottom. So let's say that you go over inside of your dinner. I took a picture of what I ate, which is the light progresso soup, the chicken and dumplings. And the cool thing about it is that if you wanted to, you can actually add in your own meal. So for this one, I took a picture of the can, but I also inputted all this information. Now, the cool thing about it is that if you wanted to, let's say you want to add a food item, this is where you can go and you can search. So let's say that you, I don't know, maybe you had like a hamburger. So then you can, type in hamburger, and then you can type in, was it lean meat, 80% or 90%? And if you choose any of them, it's going to add in how much food and how many calories you just ate, and then it's going to also add it into the very previous menu. Now, because I did not eat this ground beef hamburger, I am going to actually go right back over in there and hit delete. So if you wanted to see how you're doing with your daily goals, you can actually add something into there and then delete it later just to kind of see how you're doing. Now, going back into adding more food items, you are able to either search for your food. You also have the option to save foods as a favorite, so then this way you can always just click it and then boom, if it's something you're always doing, you already have it there. Or you can go to my food, and so you'll actually have different foods that are saved. If you wanted to add a new food, this is where you can actually add the name of the food. And then this is where the nutrients are that I talked about before, where I added in all the information that was just listed on the can, and everything is just right there. You add it all in, and then everything is exactly as you ate it, and you're not trying to just go in there and guess. Now back over into weight management, we checked out how I'm doing. So I'm actually 579 calories under where I can be underneath good. And inside of this good area, it's a little target area of 25 calories. So it's gonna be pretty close. Now down here, let's talk about the recommended intake and how many carbs you should have, also the fat, and then how much protein. And then this actually shows my actual intake of my carbs, fat, as well as protein. Now, if you want to see more information about nutritional information, this will actually break everything down for you. So then this way you can see exactly where everything comes from. And also throughout this application, it's letting you know that Samsung is not a doctor, it's not a physician, and it also mentions where it gets all of its data. Now, as you go from day to day to day, on this very bottom right over here, this is where you put in your weight. So when you click that, if it was for tomorrow, which I can't really get over there because it's not tomorrow yet, but if it was tomorrow, and let's say I go to the gym and I weighed maybe 196, then I'd be able to go right back over inside of there and I'd be able to input my weight, so then it can start creating the little dip or the little bar graph that you guys saw, or line graph on this very last page right over here, so you can start watching your descent going all the way down to your goal. So I hope that a lot of this has made sense with everything in terms of all the different widgets, how you can add things, go through things, maintain things, check everything out. Also too, I do want to let you guys know that there's a bunch of different partner applications. So if you have different applications that have different information, there's a whole bunch of different applications that you'd be able to kind of put alongside Samsung Health as well. And then you can also check out all the different accessories you'd be able to use with Samsung Health. So you can see all the different activity trackers. You can check anything out in terms of your bike sensor. You can have blood glucose meters, and you can just go on and on and on, and you can check out even scales, all the different wearable or smart watches, the chest or the heart rate monitors. So there's a lot of things you'd be able to attach onto Samsung Health to really manage everything about your health. Now, the very last thing I do want to talk about with this one is going to be the Together tab, because Together is just a fun way you can create contests with other people. You do just want to make sure that you go underneath your settings and you're going to have the Together tab that is turned on. And then right here, you can check out all the different steps leaderboards with all users. You can check how you're doing with the average age group or maybe all of the users. This one is a global challenge, so you get to sign up for different challenges that's happening, and you can also see not only how you're doing, but how your other 2 or 3 or 18 different friends. And then once you set your pace, I kind of put mine for the light pace, just so that I know I can still kind of hit my goal right here, but I'm kind of helping the whole community get all these different goals. Now, when you check out all these different stars, it's letting you know that you first want to go through the first one initially, and then these next ones will kind of open up. And so it says you better hurry, the timer has started. The star will turn gray in 49 hours. So the whole globe who is on Samsung Health has 49 more hours for all of us to move this huge orange or reddish color over into this little star or green circle area. And then outside of this challenge right over here, you can do some one-on-one challenges. And so I have one that's going between me and a friend named Brandon, and then me and my girlfriend Caroline. And so you can kind of see how you guys are trending versus the other on your steps. Now, usually when you start a competition with somebody, they kind of put the normal starting number as 50,000 steps. So that means is who is going to be the first person to get to 50,000 steps to win this challenge. Now, let's say that you wanted to start a challenge with a friend. Just click on that challenges button. Then let's say you want to do that one-on-one challenge. You're going to select who that friend is going to be. You can name a title to it, and you can change how much steps is going to be the target. So if you want it to be a quicker challenge, you can do one of those, or a longer challenge, and then you can do that one. So if you wanted to go against your friends, it's just a fun way to get a little bit more healthy, a little bit more fit by doing it against somebody. Now, if you do want to check out how you're doing with one of your wearables, you are able to go on to, let's say, the Samsung Gear S3, and you're able to go through everything in terms of how many floors you walked, pretty much anything else that has been inputted onto this application on the phone. And you're also able to add some of the different activities. If you're able to do one of the activities, you'd be able to do it this way. And then one of the other great things about having a smartwatch with you is that if you are going to do a workout, you're able to choose which workout you're doing, and then pretty much choose your activity that you're about to do. And then once you get done doing that activity, then it'll automatically sync over into your phone if you didn't have your phone with you at that moment in time. So I hope that you guys have liked this video. Make sure you guys give this thing a huge thumbs up. Also hit on that subscribe button if there's something that you learned that's brand new, or you can hit this little red circle right over here. Make sure you guys share this video with your friends and family, so this way we can all get healthy and fit together. And make sure you guys hold me to this. I'll make another video here in the upcoming future letting you know how I'm doing and how much weight I've lost because of Samsung Health. Outside of that, I'll see you guys later.